Hello, 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 everyone. I'm going to wait. Hello, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you are streaming from. Welcome to Show Up and Speak Up Anyway. So let's just talk about where this well, first, let me officially introduce myself. Officially, I am Candia Johnson. I am a leadership visibility coach and trainer. My sweet spot is working with entrepreneurial and workplace leaders, teaching them how to position, pitch, and promote themselves so they can get hired and recognized as leaders, be it in your community, in your workplace, or even in your industry. Now, here's the thing. Unofficially, I am your personal hype woman, helping you show up and speak up anyway, despite dealing with fear, uncertainty, or self-doubt. So wait a minute, I think I'm having an issue with LinkedIn. Hey, Miss Tony. Okay, so let's see what's going on with my LinkedIn people here. Okay, so we're gonna keep it pushing because this is how things go in the world of technology. So anywho, I am your personal hype woman, helping you show up and speak up anyway, despite dealing with fear, uncertainty, or self-doubt, okay? And so one of the things that I want to share with you today is this huge mindset shift around showing up when you are unsure of yourself, okay? So I call it my 3-2-1 approach for showing up anyway, all right? Now, here's the thing when it comes to this whole thing about showing up. From going out and doing workshops and things of that sort, I realized that there were 3 reasons why people typically would feel unsure of themselves when they were showing up in the world, okay? For one, sometimes you are battling something personally on the home front. Sometimes you're saying to yourself, listen, I have some things going on with my children. I have some things going on with my parents and my relationship. And those issues may cause you to feel a little bit unsure of yourself and what you are able to do or how you are able to present yourself in the workplace. Okay. So if you've ever had a storm in your personal life and you had to show up in the workplace anyway, type show up in the workplace, type show up anyway in the workplace. I'm getting all tongue tied. Okay. The second reason why you may be a little bit unsure of yourself is that sometimes you, as a leader, part of your role is to get people to change, okay? And sometimes on top of that, when you have to get people to change, what we have to realize is, listen, change is uncomfortable. Change is messy. As human beings, we don't like to change. And so one of the mindset shifts that I want to offer you when it comes to getting people to change is that when we think about what it takes to get people to change, we often think that we have to get them comfortable with the change. As a leader, your role is not to get people comfortable with the change. Your role is to get them comfortable with the discomfort that comes with the change. Okay? The third reason why you may be uncertain is sometimes as a leader, we have to communicate decisions we don't agree with. Whether that's even if you're working for your own company, if you're leading a team, sometimes you have to communicate decisions that you don't agree with. And so when we think about all of these 3 different situations that may be happening, what's really, really important is that you can show up and confidently present without stumbling over your words or just feeling or looking like you don't agree with the decision. What's really, really important is that you present confidently, okay? And so now let's get into my 3-2-1 approach. So let me know in the comments, are you leading a team first? Are you leading a team or leading so I think I'm having, issues. Listen, y'all. These tech issues, I think it's coming from LinkedIn, but we're going to keep showing up anyway, okay? So let's talk about this 3-2-1 approach. It's 3 mindset shifts, okay? 2 questions and 1 moment. 3 mindset shifts, 2 questions and 1 moment, okay? The first mindset shift that I want you to embrace is the definition of confidence. Here's the thing. Confidence comes down to whatever happens, I'm going to figure it out. That's what confidence is. Confidence comes down to understanding that you don't have to know everything. Confidence comes down to knowing that you trust yourself enough to bounce back from making a mistake. Confidence comes down to knowing that it's okay for you to feel it all. I want you to write that down. Someone needs to write that down and keep it as a sticky note next to their computer. Feel it all. Feel rejection, shame, humiliation, fear. Confidence comes down to your ability to feel all those things and show up anyway. You see, the biggest mistake that we often make when it comes to showing up is we want to wait for that feeling to go away. It's not going to go away. You got to bring it along with you. It's okay. And a lot of the times, if you think about that feeling, a lot of us who have goals and things that we want to accomplish in our lives, and we feel that fear, what I need you to understand is 9 times out of 10, your success is on the other side of that fear. Okay? So the first, again, mindset shift is to understand that confidence comes down to your ability to feel it all. Confidence isn't about avoiding the fear. Confidence is saying to yourself, whatever happens, I trust myself enough to know that I can bounce back from making a mistake. The second mindset shift that I want you to embrace is, now say it with me, just because I think it, it doesn't mean it's true. I often have to remind myself, Candia, your mind has an ability to dream. Your mind also has an ability to destroy your dreams if you allow it. Just because you think a thought, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. When we are communicating decisions, we get overwhelmed with what if this happens and what if that happens, and we stay stuck in that place. So you have to remind yourself that when it comes down to it, self-doubt is a choice. The same energy that you give to a negative thought, you can give to a positive thought, okay? The third mindset shift that I want you to embrace is clarity over certainty. Okay? Clarity trumps certainty. This mindset shift was inspired by one of my favorite books. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. I'm going to let y'all complete the word. Okay? It's by Mark Manson. And he said certainty is the enemy of growth. And it's abso-freaking-lutely true. Because the reality is there's no such thing as absolute certainty. The reality is you cannot control outcomes. You can only control your effort. No matter how hard you try, you can only control your effort. Okay? And so when it comes down to it, we have these 3 mindset shifts that we're going to embrace, right? Remember, for those of you who are just joining me, we are talking about the 3-2-1 approach to confidently showing up, even when you're unsure of yourself. So we just went over the 3-2-1, the 3 mindset shifts. We went over just because you think it, it doesn't mean it's true. That's the first mindset shift. The second mindset shift, and I think I'm about a little bit out of order, but we're going to roll with it. So the second mindset shift is confidence is whatever happens, I'm going to figure it out, right? Whatever happens, I trust myself enough to know that I can bounce back. And the third mindset shift, which to me is most important, is clarity trumps certainty. A lot of us right now watching and listening to me, you're stuck in a decision because you want to know with absolute certainty that this thing is going to work. You want to know with absolute certainty that you are going to be successful at whatever it is that you want to do or whatever it is that you have to say. And I am here to tell you that certainty, like Mark Manson said, certainty is the enemy of growth. You cannot control outcomes. You can only control your effort. Now, this brings me to my 2 questions, okay? 2 questions that I want you to ask yourself to reflect, reframe, and release. That means you're going to have to take action, okay? So the 2 questions, simple. What's within my control and what's outside of my control, right? Because remember, for many of us, we're stuck right now because we want to know with absolute certainty that this thing is going to work. We want to know with 100% certainty that this thing is going to pan out. And you have to get to a point where you sit and I usually have a list, a notebook, and I just write a line down the middle. What's within my control? What's outside of my control? And you have to seek clarity in it all. And what that is going to typically force you to do is say, hey, what do I have to do? Right? So if you think about, you list the first 3 things that are within your control and the next 3 things that's outside of your control. So just like this broadcast, listen, y'all, I had anxiety. I'm like, what if I forget my lines? And guess what? Your girl ain't playing. I have my note cards here. And even when I have to do a workshop, I have my key messages just in case Candia runs her mouth a little bit too much and then I forget my lines. Okay? When it comes to the technical difficulties, y'all see earlier on, we had a technical difficulty. Guess what? I can't really control that. I'm going to have to, LinkedIn peeps, I wanted y'all to be live with the kid, but it didn't work out that way. So guess what? Y'all going to get the replay and Candia's going to figure it out later. What's within my control, what's outside of my control. Me forgetting my lines, I can prepare for that by, first of all, having my note cards. And second of all, practicing. That's another thing that we have to remember when it comes to confidence and showing up. Preparation breeds confidence. Someone type that for me. Preparation breeds confidence. What is within your control and how can you prepare for that moment? So remember, we have the 3 mindset shifts and we have the two questions. What's within my control and what's outside of my control? The things that are outside of your control, you have to push it aside and let it go. And get insanely focused on your effort. Remember, you cannot control outcomes. You can only control your effort. Okay? Now, the last piece of the 3-2-1 approach to showing up confidently is something simple that we probably, and I know I probably don't do it enough. Thank you, Monica. Monica says preparation breeds confidence. Yes. The last part of the 3-2-1 approach that I want you to embrace is 1 moment of gratitude. So we have the 3 mindset shifts. We have the 2 questions to reflect, reframe, and release. And then we have the 1 moment of gratitude. And this is important because oftentimes if you have to put yourself in a position where you have to deliver information that you don't agree with, or you have to communicate this difficult change at work, or even in your personal life, you have to get focused on the thing that you have right now that you are most grateful for. And I believe also as a team leader, whether you are leading your business or you're leading a team at work, practicing team gratitude can also shift the energy within your workplace. And so one of the ways that I often force my brain into gratitude is this statement that I say to myself often. If you know me, you know I say this often. The beauty of the situation is. The beauty of the situation is that I lost LinkedIn, but guess what? I can save this video and then share it with my LinkedIn peeps at a later date. The beauty of the situation is that although I feel a little nervous right now, guess what? I know my content. I know my stuff. I mean, I have these backup cards here, but it doesn't mean I don't know my stuff, because the reality is I'm prepared. Preparation breeds confidence. And another part of this model, the 3-2-1 approach, is also understanding and accepting the fact that you're human. You're more critical on yourself than probably, the energy that you give the strangers on Instagram, LinkedIn. I could see it now. Go, girl. Yup, I'm so proud of you. You're doing a great job. But then when it comes to yourself, you're 10 times as hard on yourself. Accept yourself as human. Understand that when it comes to being unsure of yourself, when it comes to confidently showing up in the world, that all confidence is just you're trusting in yourself to bounce back from anything. And in terms of fear, I always use this as an example. You know how you work out at the gym? Okay, listen, y'all, I'm probably being a little bit of a hypocrite because I don't know when the last time I worked out at the gym, but I can remember way back when I used to work out at the gym and I was on a treadmill for maybe the first 3 minutes or the first 3 seconds, and I would start to sweat and I would tire myself out really, really quickly. And here's the thing that I've learned. The same biological response that your body has to working out, right? The sweat, you're tired, things of that sort. The same biological response that your body has to working out is the same biological response that your body has to fear or trying something new, treading in new waters, changing direction. It's the same biological response. And so for me, what I want to offer you, if it's one thing that I want to offer you today, in addition to the 3-2-1 approach, it's that your success as a leader comes down to learning how to have a better conversation with yourself. You see, many of us are taught how to communicate more effectively with other people. But in order for you to lead others effectively, you first have to learn how to lead yourself effectively. And that starts with learning how to have a better conversation with yourself. Learning that just because you think it, it doesn't mean it's true. Learning and understanding that even if you make a mistake, it doesn't mean you lack the competence. It doesn't mean that you're not a leader. It simply means that you're human. Okay? And so I just wanted to share this lesson with you today, my 3-2-1 approach for showing up and speaking up anyway, particularly when you are unsure of yourself. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Oh, and sign up for my Show Up and Speak Up Anyway newsletter. I'm going to include it in the show notes. And I think I'm going to be back to chat with y'all some more next week. If you have a topic that you want me to speak about, or you need some advice in your career about speaking up or showing up or positioning and pitching and promoting yourself, send me an email at hello@candiajohnson.com. Y'all rock. Thanks for joining me today. I will see you all sometime next week. I don't know. Maybe I may see y'all later on in the week. I'm feeling a little frisky. Like I could do this little YouTube live thing again. Okay. See y'all. Thank you, Monica. Hey, Tony. Hey, Kalia. Thank you.